What is going on, Alpha Hunters? It is a very magnificent Monday. Hopefully, you had a magnificent weekend. Market is not doing a whole lot, generally speaking, right now. We did have a little bit of a gap down to start the week. Not a crazy one. I mean, it was not even a quarter percent, about 0.2% there. So, not a big deal. We did get bought up on the open. It was kind of interesting. We did open like right at the low there of Friday, like right on top of that low. Anyways, we had a nice little bounce. We got even there in the first 10 minutes. Steady pullback there. Then for the next 45 minutes or so, broke the day's low and then had a strong bounce from that. Came all the way back up and took out that initial morning high. I would be leaning a little bit more bullish here. And yeah, that's about it. Not too often will we see, a nice little pop. It's pop, I guess you can say that pop, and then roll back over, take out a previous kind of low spot, and then you bounce, and then you take out the previous high without going higher later. So kind of looks like we're just consolidating here and probably continue to push higher. Anyways, that's what I'd be kind of looking for. If you kind of notice the way the SPY looked compared to the Qs got hit pretty strong there for the first hour, really, on this little pull down that we had on the SPY. The Qs got hit quite a bit harder. You can see the Qs are not back up at the highs of the day, so tech is most likely just lagging behind here. So we'll see what's going on there. And Q's currently down about 0.15%. IWM is currently up about 1/3%, a little bit of a gap down. Nice little bullish action coming in here on the day. Looks pretty good. IWM probably continues higher. I don't see any reason not to, unless we roll over, take out this little pivot level that we put in maybe about 30 minutes ago, hold under that, retest into that, and maybe try to take that bearish. But I wouldn't be looking for that unless it kind of just happened. Anyways, DIA, nice gap down, nice little flush there first 15 minutes. Okay, how low did we get here? We got down about a little bit over 0.5% there on the DIA at the low point. So interesting. Anyways, ever since that first 15 minutes, though, we've been nice little bullish run. We did get back to neutral just briefly here about past 15 minutes or so. I mean, if everything starts to turn bullish, I'd imagine DIA probably goes with it. Probably the same thing with the RSP. RSP, nice little gap down, nice little flush there to start the day. Currently flat. That's kind of how the markets are looking. So if we ended the day right now, we'd have an upper wick on Friday. We have a lower wick on Monday for the RSP. So I'd be curious to see kind of how we do end out the day. Since we're not just dropping off, I'd imagine this upper wick, we probably do eat into that here the next maybe day or two. One of the things that I am looking for, and I've kind of mentioned this before the past week or 2 weeks. Well, I mean, it's even going back before that, but really kind of over the past 2 weeks, is as we've been making these highs on the RSP and the SPY, and even the DIA, nice little pull down here on the DIA, maybe right into that 10 EMA, looks kind of good. IWM bouncing off the 10 EMA as well. All right, IWM looking pretty solid. But the thing I'm looking for is what's going to happen here over the next couple of days as we are now going to be getting into Q4 trading. Will we see the RSP and the SPY continue to make some new highs here first few trading days of October by the end of the week? And then curious to see what the Qs do, the tech area of the market, the area that usually leads us in bull markets, breakouts, and all-time high type activity, because, well, they are not. That's what I'm going to be looking for. I'm really going to be looking for this week, kind of see kind of the way that plays out. I'll be pretty selfish here. One of the reasons why I'm looking for that is I want to see what would happen if on the quarterly time frame, right, on the quarterly, which is a 3-month time frame, what would happen if we had across quarters the Qs make a lower high compared to the SPY and the RSP? Typically, when we see that happen over the course of a few days, possibly even over the course of maybe like a week or two, that typically leads to somewhat of a substantial pullback. I mean, not like 50%, but maybe like, at least 10, 15%. That's usually how we get some of those bigger pullbacks. But you can see the RSP, the SPY are really close up at their, I mean, just looking at a quarterly chart here, I mean, they're really close up at their all-time high type levels. And the Qs have a little bit of a wick there on a quarterly. So it is still, a little bit further away from its all-time high. So it's very easy to see the RSP and the SPY continue to push a little bit higher, make some new highs, all-time highs that is, and the Q's not. So that, anyways, that's what I really want to see that happen, and then what happens with the market after that, right? Because when we got that happen back over here in July, we had lower highs here across. What day was this? July 11th through the July 16th, and if you look at the SPY, July 11th through July 16th, we went higher on the SPY compared to the Qs. Qs went lower, SPY went higher. So typically, when you see that over a few trading days, that's that switch that we're talking about, like switching leadership into trending highs or all-time highs or whatever. That I'm going to be really interested to see what would happen in the market, seeing a much longer term switch like that take place over a few months, even over one whole quarter between Q3, Q4, because we haven't really seen that before in history. I kind of did go back and look. We hadn't seen that before. So that is what I will be looking to see what will come out of that. The VIX starting off the week, not really doing a whole lot. Kind of just flat. Usually we have a little gap up on Mondays, but yeah, we're not doing anything on the VIX. Basically flat. I mean, we're flat in the market, so not too shocked there, I guess. About the VIX being flat, that kind of just tells you how much expected activity the market has in mind for the week, right? The fact that it's opening flat just tells you like we're not expected to get much data. We will have JOLTS data tomorrow morning. That's maybe about it. Just kind of quickly running through here. EIA initial jobs claims, like it's some of the normal stuff. ISM, okay, non-farm payrolls and unemployment rate. We will get unemployment rate this week. I thought we would get that next week, but okay. So we'll get unemployment rate Friday. So that'll be an interesting data point to get. Anyways, DXY continuing on. Surprised we're not continuing down, but we're not exactly showing the strength to just break this trend that we're kind of just slowly grinding lower. So yeah, maybe we're just gonna barely hang on here. Maybe we'll drop off to maybe tomorrow or something like that. Be curious to see, and it might coincide with when we get JOLTS data. GLD. Yep, just look for a solid pullback spot. Maybe back down to like this upper wick spot that we had Wednesday, September 18th. That might not be a bad spot. You're also probably maybe looking for the 10 EMA, which is basically right there at it. So yeah, I'll just be bullish on any pullbacks for now. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit more of a kind of a bowl here kind of shape up before we continue higher. Anyways, 10-year yield, looking okay. Holding above these moving averages, starting to get really kind of compressed here with these moving averages coming up and kind of just some kind of resistance level right here through this 3.8 level. So yeah, we'll see that probably break one way or the other this week. 10 and 2 inversion, pulling back still a little bit. I doubt this thing absolutely drops off this week, but I mean, anything's possible. HYG kind of flat as could be. Not really doing a whole lot there. LQD pulling back a little bit. Okay, so this is gonna be the interest. Okay, so this will be an interesting one. Let me see TLT. Okay, so yeah, across the LQD and the TLT here, kind of both of them. So we clearly got the bounce, right? We had this pullback, kind of extended pullback here on this LQD, and then we got this bounce that really kind of started Thursday through that lower weekend, kind of continued up Friday. Nice gap up there. Didn't really do too much intraday. Same kind of deal there with the TLT, kind of through that lower wick, gapped up and kind of just threw a doji right at the moving averages. So that is clearly the bounce spot. We got the bounce. That was kind of one of the things that we were looking for on this pullback. Where do we bounce? There's the bounce. So if we roll over now and we take out that low right there that we just put in that wick from Thursday, yeah, we'll be going lower. So let me throw on the longer terms. How far away? Oh yeah, we got some room to run to the 100, 200 at least. We do have some pivot levels like this level here back from August 30th. And then basically that might be the only one really to worry about. I'd be looking for a play maybe down to this level down here, because we got some tops back over here from the summer, June, July, and that's also just where the moving averages are. You also got this pivot level sitting right on top of all that as well. So will this pivot level back from August 30th hold it, or will we just come all the way down to this level? That'd be an interesting one. I'd imagine we'd probably just come down. Might just waffle here for maybe like a day or two, but probably continue lower. Yeah, anyways, TLT, LQD, yeah, we got that bounce. I was kind of mentioning, like, we're going to have 3 different spots here where we're probably going to see some pretty good resistance on the bounce. One of them was the moving averages. Right now, that seems like the resistance that is to get through. So, yeah, here for the next day or two, if we get back through that little lower wick that we threw in on Thursday, we're probably just going to come right back down, which I'll be curious to see what bonds are doing then at that point in time. Bond yields, that is, bond yields. Okay. So something to keep some eyes on. As far as sector rotation goes for the day, this is kind of what we're looking at here. We got discretionaries, materials at the lower end of the day, tech underperforming, communications barely outperforming there, staples, financials outperforming a little bit, healthcare, industrials doing pretty good, real estate, utilities doing pretty good, energy's doing the best performance on the day. Nice little run here about 30 minutes ago. All right, energy's looking pretty good. As far as intraday, not much difference there intraday because we didn't have a huge gap, so not a big change. But you do see staples a little bit more underperforming there intraday, as well as materials. Discretionaries down there as well, underperforming. Communications underperforming. Utilities and tech slightly underperforming there. Industrials slightly outperforming. Healthcare, financials doing pretty good. Energies up there doing rock solid on the day.